In Form 1, you learnt about textile fibers and their properties. You also learnt about sewing tools and equipment and stitches. This topic also builds on the following concepts learnt in Form 2: seams, patterns and garment construction, for example, apron. Disposal of fullness is also referred to as management of fullness or control of fullness. It is defined as the process of arranging extra allowance of fabric in garment construction. It is done to give shape to the garment, introduce style features, give a good fit to the garment, decorate the garment, and allow for growth. In garment construction, the methods of disposing fullness include darts, pleats, tacks, gathers, easing, smoking, shearing, and use of elastic. A dart can either be single or double pointed. Procedure for a single pointed dart: fold the fabric right side facing. Ensure the stitching lines are matching. Pin and tack along the stitching line. Centimeters. Depending on its position on the garment. Gathers. Gathers are made by forming ruffles on fabrics and are best worked on fine fabrics. They are worked on waists of skirts, shorts and trousers, yokes, crowns and wrists of sleeves. Gathers can be worked by hand or machine. Procedure of making machine-worked gathers. Leave threads hanging from both A pleat is formed by folding the fabric to form 3 layers. These layers are surface, underfold, and base. The pleats are held into position by a band or seam. There are 3 main types of pleats. These include knife pleat, box pleat, and inverted pleat. Knife pleat. A procedure of making knife pleats. Mark the position of the pleat on the fabric at even intervals. Pin the folds across. Sting. Inverted pleats. Procedure of making inverted pleat. Mark the position of the middle where the base 3. Fold the opposites. Box pleat. Procedure of making inverted pleat. Mark the position of the pleat. A tack is a fold of fabric stitched through the double fabric on the right side. There are three main types of tacks: pin tacks, wider tacks, and shell tacks. Procedure of making tacks. Mark the position of tacks. Elastic is a type of rubber material that can stretch. It is used on waists of skirts, shorts, dresses, pants, and slips. Elastic can be stitched directly onto the edge of an article or inserted in a casing. Procedure of making a casing. Make a small turning of the raw edge to the wrong side. Make a wider second turning the width of the elastic plus 6 mm enclosing the raw edges. Pin and tack close to the edge. Pin the two ends of the elastic band firmly and neatly. A pocket is a bag-like feature on a garment used for holding small items, among others, handkerchief, money, or pen. Pockets vary in size and shape depending on their purpose and position on the garment. The different pockets are patch, inseam, welt, bound, and pocket cut as part of the garment. A patch pocket is a shaped piece of fabric that is stitched flat onto the right side of a garment with an opening at the top. The shapes include round, square, and V shape. Roll over each shape to view. Procedure of making round patch pocket. Neaten the raw edge of the mouth pocket by edge stitching. Reinforce at the pocket mouth on both sides. Inseam pockets. In this pocket, two pocket pieces are joined to the seam turnings on the inside of the pocket mouth. They are stitched together to form a bag which is pressed towards the front and reinforced at the top and bottom of the pocket mouth. Procedure of working the inseam pocket. Mark the position of the pocket on the garment pieces. With the right lines, notches and in the pocket section to the garment sections at least 5 mm away from the fitting line. Trim and neaten the raw edges of pocket bag together using either loop stitches, zigzag, overlock or binding. Garment, reinforce top and bottom of the pocket mouth. A waistband is a firm band used to finish and hold waists of skirts, trousers and shorts firmly. It is usually stiffened with interfacing to keep it flat, strong, and prevent stretching. Cut out the interfacing to be exact length of waistband, including the extension and half the width. Press flat. A waistband is attached to waistline by a plain seam. Procedure of attachment. Place the right side of waistband onto the right. Tuck and hem in position by picking the machine stitches. An opening is a gap created in a garment for easy wearing and removal. The choice of an opening will be determined by type of garment, type of fabric, position of the opening on the garment, and the type of fastening required. There are many types of openings. They include faced slit opening, bound opening, continuous wrap opening, front opening, zipped opening, and fly opening. In this lesson, only two of these openings are covered: faced slit opening and continuous wrap opening. Continuous wrap opening. This opening can be inserted in a slit or in a seam. Cut a strip on straight grain twice the length of opening and 5 centimeters to pull apart the edges of opening so that they lie in. Machine stitch across the base of the wrap. Faced slit opening. This opening is made by making a slit or slash into garment and is knitted using a facing. Mark the position and required length of opening stitching. Sheen 3 mm away from the tacking along both sides. Remove the basting. Facing at the base with catch stitches. Note that the facing can also be held by machine stitches and hemming. Fastenings are devices used to close openings on garments and articles. Mark the position of the button on the garment or article well. Pass the needle up through one hole of the button. Place a matchstick across the top of the button in order to make a shank. Bring the needle over the matchstick down through to the second hole to the wrong side.